Okay, so I call that opening. I got home too late and then I was too tired to do anything, and now it's the next day. So I've gotten this question a ton. I'm finally getting around to it, especially because it's right around the corner. I'm going to be talking about BEAST, or Cadet Basic Training. And I'm going to keep it short because there's really not as much to it as people think. A lot of people try to overthink it and try to do all these weird plans to prep and get ready and hack and all this other stuff, but really it's a lot simpler than you think. So I've seen BEAST from both sides. I did it as a new cadet, and then I did it as a squad leader for new cadets. So I've got a good idea of what it's like, obviously. So BEAST is 6 weeks long, everyone knows that, and it's split into two sections. You have BEAST 1, which is the first 3 weeks, and then BEAST 2, which is the second 3 weeks, and you'll have a different squad leader for each. BEAST 1 is essentially breaking you into the Army, teaching you how to wear a uniform, you're picking up all your gear, you're gonna be sitting through a lot of briefs trying to stay awake because there's a lot of information that you need to take on and memorize and get to know. And then basic things like basic first aid, basic things with rifles, basic marching, a lot of just grassroots stuff. And then the second detail, BEAST 2, is a little more physical. You'll do a lot more rucking, you'll do a lot more shooting, a lot more training, and kind of the typical Army training that you think of when you hear basic training. You know, one day is like a typical BEAST day, but generally the schedule goes, you wake up really early and you have PT before the sun comes up. And then once that's done, you go to breakfast, and then you'll do training or whatever needs to be done until noon-ish, and that'll be lunch. And then once that's done, you'll have training or doing whatever until dinner. And then after dinner, any little things that need to be worked on, like if your company messed something up, you need to fix it, or say your squad needs to work on this one little thing, so you go practice that or work on it or something. It's been a while, but I think at 9, then it's lights out. Your light has to be off, your door's propped open a little bit so that they can see your lights off and you're not doing anything. And then the whole process just keeps going. But like I said earlier, people love to try and like overcomplicate it, like, oh, what should I wear on our day to be sure that I'm like the fastest or the quickest, or I'm trying to impress the cadre or something. Like, none of that matters. Like, I remember when I got there, the big thing that everyone was talking about on our Facebook page, they were going to wear the black leather shoes to our day. And like they're gonna pack their bag a certain way so they can get everything out that they needed really quickly and all this other stuff. And then in the end, none of that even mattered. Everyone starts at the same base level, you all get the same stuff. It's not something that needs to be worried about. So regardless, I'm gonna give the 3 bits of advice that I gave everyone that asked me this. And it has stayed true, it's proven true. Add on to it or take away a little bit, but these are the 3 main things that I would say are most important. Number 1, don't be a jerk. I know this comes off as like a little crash and self-explanatory, but the thing is, you're not gonna have a second of alone time. The entire 6 weeks, you will be constantly surrounded by your squad mates, your platoon mates, your company mates, your cadre members, and it's incredibly important that you build a camaraderie with them, that you're selfless towards them, you do everything you can to help them out, and that you're building those relationships, because you're going to be shocked at how close you get with those people if you do it right. You know, it's important that you make friends. There's a saying at West Point, cooperate to graduate, and that's entirely true, especially in BEAST, because you're gonna be completely lost at certain times, and you're just gonna need to stick out a hand, and you're gonna need one of your squad mates to grab it and help you through something. Lord knows that was me several times. Whether it's like a physical, like you're bad at push-ups, or it's like a mental, you just cannot get a certain piece of knowledge down, you and a friend of yours that knows it better can practice. And I met some of my best friends in BEAST, and they're still some of my best friends now. I remember my roommates and I, we were just amazed. I think we were like only a week in, and one guy said, it feels like we've been friends for years. And it was entirely true, because you're just constantly surrounded by these people, and you're constantly going through these hardships and these struggles, physical and mental, and you quickly form really important bonds. So it's really important that you don't be a jerk. So help out when you can, be selfless, understand that everyone's at a different level than you. You could be really far below the standard, and then you have some high-speed guy that can help you out, or you could be that high-speed guy that has to help everyone out, but you're gonna wanna build those relationships because you don't know when they'll come in handy. Okay, second piece of advice, have a sense of humor. And I don't mean just like being able to laugh at jokes or something. I mean being able to look at yourself and look at the situation you're in sometimes and just laugh at it almost. And I don't mean don't take things seriously, but have a sense of humor about things. And this involves being humble and realizing that you're not all that you think you are. Because I can't tell you how many times we saw the hot shot from high school who thought his shit didn't stink, and then he ended up crashing and burning, and because he didn't follow rule number 1, no one was there to help him. But have a sense of humor about yourself, most importantly. Realize that you're going to mess up, and that's okay. That is what BEAST is designed to do, is for you to mess up and then learn from your mistakes. So you're changing them from mistakes into learning opportunities in an environment that it's okay to mess up in. Like, realize that if you mess up or you're still on something or you do something wrong, it's not the end of the world. Beast is there for you to learn, it's there to push you, and it's for you to get a base on which to go forward from. So don't be incredibly fatalistic about, oh, I messed this one thing up, or oh, why can't I do this one thing? Just realize, like, it's all a big learning experience, essentially. And also, like, you'll be pulling guard duty 2 in the morning, it's gonna be raining, you're gonna be tired, and you're gonna have to look around and be like, wow, this sucks, and then chuckle at yourself for it. Because I can't tell you how important it is to have that sense of, like, almost fatalistic sense of humor about the situation you're in sometimes. And that helps so much with morale amongst your squad and your platoon. It'll make you guys grow closer. All right, and advice number 3, and the most obvious self-explanatory advice: don't quit. No matter what it is, do not give up on what you were doing. And I remember that was something I told myself day one, is that my big thing is I am a terrible runner. Still am. I've gotten better, but definitely not the best. Definitely one of the slower persons in my squad. But I told myself that no matter what, on any group run that we do in the morning, I would not quit. I would not start walking. I would not fall out. And that applies for runs, rucks, push-ups, anything. I would not quit. Because the second you quit, your momentum is gone. And it's way easier to keep momentum going than it is to quit and then try and get that momentum back up. It's gonna be impossible. You've already lost in your mind. So put it once in your mind that quitting is not an option. Failure is okay, quitting is not. And also, when you quit on something, you're putting that quit on the rest of your squad. So say you're on a ruck march and you have to get somewhere at a certain time. If you quit, you're holding up everyone, and then your quitting is affecting everyone else. Or say you're doing a competition with your squad and you just give up on a shoot or trying to put your weapon back together fast or having a certain piece of knowledge. If you quit, you're quitting on your whole team, and that's not okay. So those are my 3 pieces of advice. And one more thing for anyone who's too worried about it. I've had a lot of people ask about the physical part of Beast, like, oh, what should I be doing to physically prepare? You know, should I be running more? Should I be doing more push-ups? That does not matter. You're not gonna show up day 1 and just be a turd amongst a bunch of studs, you know? Like, everyone's at different levels. You're always gonna be running at the speed of the slowest person. That's kind of how I put it in my mind. But I've given this advice a couple times, but if you're going to Beast, take the time that you have left in the summer to enjoy life. See your friends, spend a lot of time with your family, go to a few parties, go to barbecues, sleep in. Don't feel like you need to, like, already be locked into this regimen of killing yourself at the gym every day, running 10 miles every other day. That will come. That run will be there regardless if you're super ready for it or not. And even if you're not like a complete stud, you're gonna pass. You're gonna be okay. Like, you will get through it. Beast is designed to build you up. So for me, like, I entered not that great a runner. I was still able to pass everything, but then at the end, I was a much better runner than when I began because I was just running so much. So the way I see it, the priority and the time that you have before you go to Beast should be on family, enjoying your life, and enjoying that last bit of freedom before it's just completely taken away from you. So I hope that helps. I know it's like in 3 weeks now, July 2nd. Just remember, thousands of people have done it before you, and they all did just fine. Except for that one guy, but that one guy won't be you.